Hi, so I have a confession to make. I did not enjoy Hobonichi Techo. So back in 2024, I was in Japan and I came across this bookstore and I saw them showcasing a series of notebooks for the year 2025, which is called Hobonichi. Back then, I have scrolled through a number of websites studying what Hobonichi is and if it would fit my lifestyle. They have this A6. They have a bigger one, which is A5, and they have half of the year, then another half of the year, and they have weeklies, long, skinnier versions of these, and they have a 5-year journal. I thought to myself, okay, I will try Hobonichi. It's a very good looking notebook. The paper is fascinating. The layout is fascinating, and the covers are cute. So this is the cover that I got for my Hobonichi Techo. I believe it was September, maybe, when I placed an order, because Hobonichi opens their pre-orders during the Burr month of the current year for the following year of notebooks. So I got my Hobonichi Techo 2025 back in September 2024. It's a full quarter before the year ends. So I got this as the cover. It's a basic leather cover with garter to close it, which I have realized that I'm not really a fan of, which I should have known because my past journals had the same layout. You stick the covers of the notebook itself here, and since the term is junk journal, since I do that, it ends up not fitting perfectly as time goes by. So by the middle of the year, I already have this huge pileup of pages, and I can no longer use this peacefully because it won't fit. Look at the spine. It's just too stressful for the cover. For preface, I'm not saying that Hobonichi Techo is not a wonderful series of notebooks, of journals. It is. I confess to it that it is it's a wonderful series of notebooks. It's not fit for me. It's, how do you call it? It's a skill issue. It's just not the right fit for my lifestyle. Okay, first off, this A5, already wrong. This is not the correct size for me. I initially wanted something that is small because I thought that it would be the perfect size to replace my passport size journal. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this size. I should have known before I got into the A5. I have never really used this aside from like that one time back in 2024. I like this size better. I believe the week's Hobonichi Techo or Hobonichi week would be the closest size to this. I like this layout better because I get to write more, stick a lot more stuff, and do a lot of things inside compared to just the half. So that should be my first red flag for myself. That was a lesson. Number 2, I think this would overlap with the reason why I don't do bullet journals. It's because if I do bullet journaling, which means I have to get a blank notebook and write everything myself. I cannot design. I do not have that creativity in me. That's why I need dates or a date notebook because it would help me guide. The problem is this has too many dates. It goes day by day. It's not like the Muji notebook, which goes a week and then a blank page. Here is my current Muji journal. This is the same as my 2024. Dates here, some lines in between the dates, and then a blank page. This is the better, more fitting layout for me. And now I know that. But back then, I was so intrigued with Hobonichi Techo that I decided, okay, since I have this bingo entry that I should fill every page of the notebook by the end of the year, I thought that I would be able to complete it. And that was very wrong of me because I should have assessed myself more accurately. I did enjoy filling out the first few days. It has a dedicated yearly calendar. It's just too much for me because some days since some days I don't use my brain, so I end up just filling out with things that I don't even care about. So I've finished this. I think I have filled up some days up until November, well, up until December, but I've never really written anything after that. It became a scrapbook instead of a journal because I ended up not writing almost anything. There are some writings, but I tried to avoid that because by the time I was in here, it was already hard to write because of how bulky it is. It didn't really spread out nicely and have so many blank pages here. One thing for certain is, again, this is not the fault of the notebook. It is purely my wrongful assessment of myself. One thing's for certain, the moods that I had last year. It was very high on the score of neuroticism for the ocean measurement. I was not really in the mood to write a lot of stuff last year. I was very uninspired to write. My days were really boring and I had less travel time because of work, so I never really got to write a lot. And to add to that, since one of the reasons why I got this size right is because it's nearly, if not the same, size as the passport journal, traveling journal. This is Traveler's Notebook, by the way. You should check them out. Great line of paper. Going back to the Hobonichi, one of the reasons why I got this was because it is travel size. It's very small. So I would think that this would be a great replacement for the travel journal. I was wrong. I actually revived my travel journal because of this. My travel for last year was back in August. You know what? I think it was around here when I traveled. Didn't had anything. It's empty. This is when I came back. You know what happened? Nothing. Because by the time I was in this month, it already was so thick that it's just not possible to use this to bring with me. It's too thick, and I was backpacking, so it didn't make sense to bring this to me. And I realized, oh, I need to have a dedicated travel journal. That's one of the reasons. And yeah, I think it's just they marketed the papers as well as, you know, it won't bleed, and it certainly did not. There's less bleeding, but you know, I got this directly from Japan. I ordered it from their website, shipping, and then whatever, so I had to pay extra for a journal, for a notebook, plus this. You buy these separately, by the way. So what happened is I paid for this kind of paper just to have the same quality, if not better, because this is thicker, which I like more. This is thinner, which sometimes makes me anxious. This is how much? In peso, maybe a less than almost 1,000. And for this one, it's certainly more than that because of the shipping and whatnot. I think it was about middle of December when I decided to, you know what, I'm not going to finish this journal. I'm going to start with the new one instead for the new year. Also, what I did not like is that it has so many extra pages. Not just pages of like blank great grids, but I don't need this. I thought I did. I thought it would be a fun thing, but 2024 me thought it would be a fun thing, but 2025 me certainly did not. I have so many blank pages that I don't need. So many pages that, what are these for? Why did I think that I would use all of these? Ratings pages, which I can do, graph, timetable. I don't know why I thought it would be a fun perk for me. And you know what I said with the previous video that I did? Extra calendar pages I turn it to something else. For example, this is a calendar, I believe, spare calendars for the following year. I never filled it. But the minimalism of my current journal is that this is the end of 2026. This is the end of 2026, and they'd have up until January, but that's it. I turned it to something else as well. And it's just grid pages for the rest of the notebook. And I think me realizing that I like minimal, I'm leaning more of being a minimalist when it comes to stationery. Notebooks at least, but not the design, obviously. This is still how I do my journals. I mean, you've seen the pages. But me realizing that also contributes to the reason why I did not enjoy this notebook entirely. So it's a shame. I really thought that it would be, life-changing for me to have this notebook, but it turns out that it's not the best. I think this reminded me of these because these ones, their layout was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, an extra page. And I thought, I've been filling out these back then religiously. I would do that. I thought it would be easy because I could fill something like this and it's a small space. And I think it's similar to 2020. This is 2023. See, this is what I meant when I say that I have a similar cover with this one. You slip the covers back here, but it turns into that. Not a fan. This is quite, well, it's the same, but still, the thing is, I could still fill a lot of pages by day, and I thought, you know what, I can do that as well with this year. I think I had this way of thinking back in 2024 that it's time to step out of my comfort zone because 2024. Okay. Back then, when I was scouting Hobonichi Techo 2024 for the 2025, I thought that I was cheating for a bit because some days it will look like this. And this is it's the easier way and the easiest way to fill pages. And I thought, am I expressing myself correctly by doing this? I'm filling so much, but at the same time it feels like I'm not. But then again, it turns out that I have to be wrong about something else to realize that this is really how I want my journal to look like, and this is how I want to express myself. So thank you, Hobonichi Techo 2025, for not working out with me. Thank you for being a lesson in my life that I do not want something like this again because it doesn't fit me. And unlike some other creators, I don't have an ecosystem aside from regular everyday journal and a travel journal. I actually do not use this anymore. Like I said, I've only used this once. I will maybe I think I would bring a page or a book of watercolor notebook because if you can see that, it has dots there that you can tear, and I could use that to transfer things in my travel journal or regular journal. The best solution is to just have this thinner system with me when I travel. But yeah, I'll end up doing something like this anyway, where I can see this is, so it was in August when I found out about Hobonichi Day, because I got this sticker. So I think I like this because the way you can still open, I mean, you can still open this, yeah, but with how compact it is and how stout it is, it doesn't really fold as nicely as bigger notebooks. I also did not finish all of this because there are pages, but overall, yeah, I'm not a fan of Hobonichi Techo. Would I try it with a bigger size? No, I don't think so either, because of the single date system that they have. I cannot use my brain daily that well. I would need to have something like, weekly would suit me, but I don't think that their layout for their weekly would also fit my needs, because as far as I can remember, it's the one that looks like my travel journal. It's long and slim, and that's also not enough paper for me to express my feelings. So if you are looking for a journal identify yourself, assess yourself, I guess is what I would say. What do you really need? How do you write? If you're just starting journaling, maybe start with, I wouldn't do it, but start with undated. Either start with dated or undated or blank notebooks first. Well, yeah, I think it boils down to just assess yourself. What do you really need? How do you really write? How would you like to write? And by the end of the day, you'll just know. Well, maybe not at the end of the day. The end of the year, you'll just know if something really is for you. Fortunately, yeah, this is not for me, but I did enjoy setting it up during the first days of 2025. But yeah, unfortunately, we're not the best for each other. Sounds like we're breaking up, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's me for Hobonichi. It's a skill issue on my part. They are a wonderful notebook, just not the right fit for me. Yeah, thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for watching. I have a different voice, I feel like, because I'm recovering from flu or sore throat, and both of them, I guess. Thank you for spending time with me. Bye.